better than first phase here. Better than the first game.
If they're going to show up a Shark Gwyn pick here, hopefully they can save it for last. Because if Falcon decide to go the route, I'm thinking in my head, and they just say, oh, let's go Harith, suddenly they'll get turned around by a Gwyn pick.
That could happen, but also, what if you pick up another tank shredder in the Edith?
For Falcon?
Yeah. Primal Wrath, throw it on mid, throw it in XP, whatever. You can switch it up with Hylos.
Longer team fight, Hylos. Yeah.
And then you still go 4-1. You put whatever on Benny.
Problem is, BTK can block that if they go Valentina now.
I mean, I suppose, but at the same time, we have to remember that Glue is still currently active for the EXP lane, and right now they don't have many answers to it other than the Vexana, so the laning phase might be a little hard, but BTK now looking to scale?
Okay, so is this clear? Do you go Edith? Because there's no Valentina anymore. I was afraid they can go Red 5 Valentina.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, my worry for this is it might actually punish her a bit. Granger, they go
Granger Edith?
Falcon. Oh, the lineup of BTK is just solid already, even though we don't see the last pick. If they go full heavy front line, then Falcon, it might take them a while. If Falcon wins like 2 engagements early on, like a sure win, then that's like the best way. They snowball.
I mean, they don't necessarily even have to interact with BTK for the first 2, at least for the first 2 turtles, but now they're gonna go CC just to try and win out that lane against the Glue. It's an interesting take coming in from Falcons. I gotta give them that.
They might be answering they might be bringing up solutions to problems that they see that we don't in the draft. Are they respecting this Red 5 pick?
Could be. That's ahead.
Yes, it is.
Oh. A lineup that scales well from the mid game. If ever it doesn't go well in the early, it does late. Very well-rounded. While for Falcon, maybe Royal Milk will have the CC performance of a lifetime. That's the wildcard X factor that I'm having a hard time reading right now. Mirko Staffa, let's go.
I do not know what's gonna happen here, ladies and gentlemen, but BTK not only getting the Fredrin once again, but also the Bruno and even the Cecilion. A bit of a switch up on the formula here, Mirko.
Oh, that is crazy stuff, you know. In game 1, we saw a trade, the Fredrin, MOBA Fred, for Benny Bruno. I think it was a pretty good trade, you know, even though it didn't work out. They could have adjusted more, but I guess they saw that the Luo Yi, the Hylos, was a bit more prio. But in return, you give away Bruno and Fredrin. We'll have to see, man.
We will have to see whether or not the Burmese Sky Warriors can dethrone the Kings with Bloodthirst at the forefront in the Land of Dawn. It's going to be game number 2. Falcon Esports on the blue side versus BTK on the red.
In game 1, BTK quite literally clipped the wings of the Falcon. And for Falcon now, they gotta try to come back, man. They gotta try to equalize it on the board. 1-0 match point for BTK to qualify to the knockout stage. And you can already see how the Jawhead can work out, right? What's the weakness of the Fredrin in this meta? I would say it's clear speed. You pick up the Jawhead, and I don't know about the clear speed anymore, right? Like Shark on the Concussive Blast 2 on Jawhead. Crazy it's so good for leashing, man. Mobazane has already cleared up almost the entire jungle here and is actually matching up with Dax on the alpha.
Yeah, that Jawhead really provides a Fredrin with a lot of assistance in the jungle. And because nowadays you don't see quite as much jungle invasion at level 1 and 2 anymore, you're not really going to see anyone try and mess with the Jawhead, providing that leashing anyway too, right? So it provides a very effective way of helping speed up Mobazane against a jungler like the Alpha. We also see once again BTK going for a very mobility-based emblem setup, especially on Hoon, who is playing the Cecilion. This does mean that BTK not going to have the greatest mid-lane burst potential, so having Shark on this Jawhead helps make up for that as well.
For Chicken 2, you can see on the Glue, he's actually opted to go for the agility and the Wilderness Blessing. My guess is he knows he's going to lose out of this lane, so what he's going to do is just clear out the waves as fast as possible and then rotate to the team. Dax, ooh, wow, great sidestep. I don't know if that was intentional by Zane, but it was definitely flashy. Dodges away from the Spear of Alpha by just jiggling.
Yeah, actually really impressive movement by Mobazane there. Literally the moment he walked into that brush, saw a red health bar, just instantly walked out. Didn't even give Dax time to get that Spear of Alpha out. A catch there would have been huge and would have poked Mobazane down to the point where BTK couldn't secure the turtle easily, but now they are at full HP, and they'll take control.
The pressure on PX7. Slam, pass, the Eternal Guard forced on him. Split, bring him back all the way. Shark finds first blood. The Appraiser's Wrath will bonk on Dax. Zane's still alive, and Royal Milk is there with the yo-yos. White Chicken with a split again. It's a 2 for 2 at the end of the day for Falcon, and I think it's a win for Falcon.
Yeah, I think that is indeed going to be a win for Falcon here. It looked really good for BTKs to start off. There was actually some impressive microplay, especially... Oh, Benny.
Rhapsody, one last shot. Zia still wants to stay for minions. Benny's waiting on the last Death Sonata. Not able to get it in time.
Yeah, no demonic energy, but Dax securing the turtle.
Great turtle take. It'll be traded with Kid X, and Zane takes the kill. Kill for turtle. Dax still have an XP lead. But Zane walks up. They're just going to steal that camp away. And Shark, I believe. No, it's Zane. Was it Shark? Was it Zane who got it? I think it was Shark.
Yeah, I think so as well. But we can definitely see the impact that the Sicilian mid is having on BTK, right? They're still trying to play as aggressively as before, but without a mid laner that's able to match up to that pressure, they are lacking just a little bit of DPS to really finish off Falcon in some of these extended skirmishes, right? Royal Milk being able to survive in that previous turtle fight was what allowed Falcon to be able to turn things around, because BTK already lost most of their consistent sources of DPS. So right now, Falcon does still hold on that goal lead because they were able to secure the objectives a bit more consistently away from their opponents thus far. However, Bruno Sicilian is a lineup that has been able to turn around late games for multiple teams here in the M6 Swiss stage. So a similar condition is going to be put on Falcon in this game that BTK had in game 1. End the game by the 15-16 minute mark, or you will have problems.
You see the unstoppable force there from Shark over to the Eternal Guard, I believe, maybe trying to escape from a possible follow-up from Falcon Esports. But for BTK, I agree with you, yeah. With the Sicilian, with the Bruno, they can really just play it slow. And for Falcon, with the first turtle, they got to try to play it fast. They got to try to fix the tempo to their speed. They don't want to let Hoon continuously just stack up, and they definitely do not want Zia on the Bruno to farm up, right? In game number 1, it was a good way from BTK to actually stop Benny by just constantly ganking and putting pressure onto towards the Bruno. This game, I think we don't see as much attention from Falcon Esports up top, but Benny's doing a good job alone at shutting down Zia.
When you're playing with a Bruno on your side, there's this subconscious expectation that he'll be able to hold his lane by himself and win it out pretty safely. Not to mention, BTK can't really give up too much of their mid pressure to try and gank him. And because of that, Benny is able to use the extended range of the Granger to poke out Zia in lane and start building up stacks. You can see too, they just have more pressure.
Eternal Guard coming in. Oh, great retribution from Dax. Right as he goes into the Spear of Alpha to stun Mobazane. Now he's going to be caught. Royal Milk with the chase. That's a flicker from Shark. Ejector not ready. The Spark missiles will come through and Chicken actually gets away. Benny is waiting for the last shot perhaps of the Death Sonata, but will not be able to get it in time and will instead just shove in the wave up top. Shark trying to stop that steal, that invade from happening, but I believe Falcon should be able to just take it away even despite that ejector.
Yeah, this is exactly what Falcon Esports needs to be doing right now. They have a composition that is way better towards that early to mid-game scaling. They just have more DPS and more burst overall, so they gotta run them down. They gotta take more map control, take more structures, to try and end the game early.
No Purify on PX7. Smart missiles. Oh, great Terrified. Mo was able to Appraiser's Wrath. PX7 trying to go for a little bit of a dodge there. Oh! Zane still gets it with the enhanced attack. I thought he missed the skill 1. Concealed from Shark. Zane will sacrifice himself. Walking up, but Shark will fall too. The sacrifice failed. And that's another kill over. Benny is angry.
Yeah, you can see that anger right now from Falcon Esports slowly building up on that goal lead. And I'm sure the fans are very happy to see this. Falcon is happy to see this because this is what their lineup is built for. Granger is a snowball hero. He farms well, he scales evenly, but the more advantage you can give him, the more of a threat he's going to be, especially once he hits that Sky Piercer timing. So Falcon Esports knows that they cannot afford to let this game prolong for too far. They have heroes that will drop off off in effectiveness the later the game goes. And we've already seen in the past that Granger, although very good at opening up the map and picking people off, is not actually that good at taking structures, especially the Crystal, since he's based more around skill spam than auto attacks, right? So it'll become harder to push into the base the later the game goes for them.
Great Purify from PX7. Dax with the respect as well, just uses the Spear of Alpha instantly there. Doesn't want to take any chances. Benny stealing the purple buff away. Taking it away, and now, oh, Royal Milk. Oh, that damage! Royal Milk has just soloed Mobazane. It was a bit of help from Dax, but that was a statement. That was a declaration of war from Falcon.
The CC pick, very effective for Falcon Esports, and not just for winning out against tankier EXP laners, but for being the bane of heroes like Fredrin. And the crowd is chanting!
Eternal Guard into Dax's spear. Chicken gunned down by Benny with a Death Sonata. And now it is all Falcon Esports.
Falcon Esports are sinking their talons into the bloodthirsty Kings, and the atmosphere is electrically charged by the Burmese fans as they are witnessing their team go head-to-head. Right now, 5K goal lead, 8 minutes in. Falcon still has plenty of time to continue piling on the pressure and ending the game before Zia and Hoon have a chance to come on a line. But the Bruno and Cecilion so far have not been killed once in this game. The next target for Falcon Esports is to stifle their farming, and then the game should go very easily into their hands.
We saw Benny on the Bruno, 100% win rate in game 1, destroyed. Now we're seeing possibly MOBA Fred's Fredrin, 100% taken away by Falcon. That would definitely be poetic, right? BTK taking away the 100% from Benny, and then Falcon returning the favor just in game number 2. And you could just see in the draft, we were talking about it, you know, criticizing, you know, Fredrin, Bruno, leaving it both to BTK. It was a risky move, but they played their cards well. They knew how to deal with it. The CC pick turns out to be the way to do it. And with the CC here being so free in the team fights, they decided to go Flicker. Now, they don't even need the extra sustain from the Vengeance, doesn't even need the extra sustain from, or maybe just even the mobility from Sprint. It's all about the Flickers, just blinking in, getting damage, and then getting out.
Yeah, no reason to have to go Vengeance here, right? This CC was specifically picked towards the end of the draft, and by that time, Falcon Esports had already seen most of the DPS options that BTK had, especially the Sicilian mid lane, right? Because of that, they just don't have to worry about Royal Milk being bursted down very much. It's better to go for extra maneuverability so that they can chase BTK down and disrupt their very tight frontline potential. A Lord has now been secured for Falcon Esports, and the timing is closing for BTK. The chants of the fans in the audience signaling the potential death toll of the American representatives.
This is crazy how loud the fans are. It's phenomenal. MY, I thought MY stats for Malaysia, man. Honestly, game 2 here is making me really feel like I'm in Myanmar. That's a Sea Halberd, War Axe. Oh, Benny's built. Benny's ready for a fight, for a real brawl.
Not even going for the Sky Piercer, actually, just straight up building into damage so that Benny is able to melt down frontliners like Mobazane and Fried Chicken as well. And we can see that it's being very, very effective. A 4K goal lead between the goal laners. Lord pushing in. It's only the first. BTK still has their holy defense, but how well can they hold?
Royal Milk zone in the back with the curtain call. Putting Hoon together with Fried Chicken. Mobazane gets ejected back. That's a retribution from Mobazane. Only onto the mini waves. The Lord will be able to get the first base turret in the mid lane. BTK dealing with the rest of the waves. Falcon Esports with the first Lord. A base turret take is already crazy value, but they're not happy with just one. They're setting up the waves for another siege.
Falcon Esports are well aware that the next Lord is probably the last chance they can get to really push in and end before Hoon starts building up genuine stacks. The Death Sonata is doing a lot of poke damage.
Kidex zoning them in the back. Mobazane isolated. Curtain call. Oh, Kidex brought back into the Fountain Shark. Flickering back. White Chicken with the slam pass, but Royal Milk dodges away from it. Benny mounted up. Brought back again. Zia together with Hoon finds the kill. A 2-for-1 trade. But Falcon Esports, they got the 2 base turrets, and they are happy with that now. With that trade, they back away.
Falcon Esports are still in a very, very comfortable position, but the next Lord is basically their time limit for ending the game. BloodThirstyKings being able to find some pickoffs there and even giving Zia and Hoon their first kills of the game respectively is going to help them start building up that potential they need to start holding on to the base defense, right? They're very good at counter-engaging against sieges. Hoon, we can see, already has those 200 stacks on the Sicilian.
That's pretty low,
Unfortunately,
right?
it's still a bit low, actually, yes. So Falcon actually may have more time than we expected.
They have a lot of time. We were talking about maybe, 14-minute onwards that the power spike might hit, but seeing how behind Hoon is on stacks, I feel like even 14 minutes is not really going to cut it, right? Like,
yeah.
Falcon actually have a lot of time now to play. They can keep calm, play it slow, and they've gotten 2 base turrets, right? That fight for BTK, it was good for them. They got a few kills, but it was still way better for Falcon Esports. That was the far lane base turret taken away, and it'll just be an auto advantage for Falcon as they set up for the enhanced Lord in the 12th minute of the game. Benny already securing the endless battle.
That is Benny's final item as well until he decides to replace his shoes. So this Granger has reached the peak of his DPS potential. The 15-16 minute mark, the second Lord we talked about, is usually about the time when Bruno becomes a problem. But looking at the stacks that Hoon has, the Sicilian hasn't quite reached that point either. So Falcon still has a bigger window to play with than expected. They will be able to get this Lord without too much problem. 7k gold lead still in their hands. And a marksman that is quite capable of outranging the Sicilian. BloodThirstyKings, not too sure if they have the lineup to be able to hold a base defense here, especially with Falcon effectively pushing and sinking every wave on the map.
It's looking bleak for the defense of BTK. For Falcon, they're going to spread their wings now. In the siege they go. Kidex with the glorious pathway. Hoon going to be chunked as well. Ejector coming out. Hoon very low. Flickering out to safety. Kidex gets covered sanguine claws, but now in the back line as well. Royal Milk, Winter Crown, Spear of Alpha from Dax. CSC able to cut away as he flickers out to safety. Benny low. Checking with the split. Mobile Zane and Kaiden again as Hoon constantly goes over bad impact. The base wide open. Benny trying to go for it right now. The Lord is there. The winner crowns his spot as well. They're trying to target it down. Benny will slay Mobile Zane. Sia is next to the chopping block. And Benny will go for the base to equalize it. And we're getting a game number 3.
Despite their best efforts, BTK not able to hold the crystal up, and the Burmese Sky Warriors making sure that they stick to their target. They are the predators in the land of Dawn, eyeing their opponents, making sure that there is no chance for them to reach the scaling necessary to counteract. Yet again, we are going to a full